envy, one of the 7 deadly sins. And it's sort of easy to see why, because it's more than just jealousy and the idea of wanting something that someone else has. It's the idea of wanting to have it instead of them. So take an idea or a piece of work, for example. It's the idea that you can't just be satisfied if you have that as well. You have to have it instead of them. And you sort of think, oh, I wish I would have come up with that idea or piece of work, because then that would be under my name and under my portfolio instead, and I would be credited with it. And I, for one, am guilty of feeling envious so many times, because I'm inspired by just so many different things. And that doesn't necessarily mean I do anything with inspiration, it just simply means I am inspired. And I hated it for so long, and it's obvious why, because it's a horrible trait to have. But it was only until a few months back that I started to feel differently about it. And it was one day when I was really randomly feeling ill, and the one thing I always notice when I'm feeling ill is that my mind just sort of starts to go a bit. And it's sort of easy to see why again, because your body is literally fighting off whatever it is you're facing, and so I can never seem to think straight, and the thoughts just go all over the place, bouncing everywhere. And the one main thing I noticed was that everything that usually inspires me, it didn't. And I thought, having hated the envy for so long, I thought it would be a relief not to have it. But it was actually the opposite. I hated it more than I hated the envy itself. And the reason why is because, the things that I'm envious of and things that I'm inspired by are the things that sort of make my world almost magical in a strange way. Because they're the things that inspire me to push forward, and without that, the world's just dull and boring. And so now whenever I look at a piece of work, or I look at someone who's created loads of bits of work which I love, rather than hating them and despising the fact that they've created them, I'm actually grateful for the fact they have created them, because it pushes me forward and inspires me to create something even half as good as they have, because it's not a competition to better them, it's just an idea of wanting to at least be at a similar level to what they are on. And so what I'm getting at basically is, next time you're feeling envious and thinking, oh, I wish I would have created that instead, try and look at it this way and think, without that, there'll be nothing to start that spark and make your world magical, and there'll be nothing to inspire you to push forward and create something incredible.